Hey guys, it is Carrie, the Invisible Goddess. Today is Saturday, February 25th, and I think this is podcast either 13 or 14. If you see my arm moving, we have a cat right here. It's Missy, my good girl. Gonna lay on my lap? So in today's podcast, I'm shaking, sorry. You're on a, you wanna go? You're on a laptop table on my phone arm thing. Bless you. Bless you. Is that it? The third one? I have a sneezy cat. Yeah, so what do we have going on besides my poor ailing cat? I have some mostly finished objects. I'll explain why it's mostly in a little bit. And a few works in progress, so a few whips. And then we have an acquisition also. And I'm going to start with the acquisition because it's right next to me and I haven't actually opened it yet. And I think it's going to tie into the work in progress that I'm going to do next. All right, so my favorite, Amazon. You know that I'm on a no-buy. If you've been around, you know that I'm on a no-buy. And my no-buy quickly turned into a low-buy, and I think I spent $6 on some cam snaps the last time I talked to you guys. And this time I have spent $6 or $7, I think. Might have even been $5 on, well, you'll see, right? If I ever get it open. Okay. Literally opening this in front of you. Shit. Damn it, guys. They are way too big. Yeah, okay. So hopefully I haven't missed the return time because I wanted mini cookie cutters. And these are, I would not consider them mini at all. Like, these are regular size cookie cutters. Like, this is my hand against, this one right here is Santa's face. So like that's not a mini cookie cutter, that's a full-size freaking cookie cutter. And that pisses me off. So it looks like I will be making a little trip to Kohl's to return this shit. Well, that makes me sad. So put this over here. What I am planning on doing with the replacements that I get for that is part of what I'm doing for Christmas for special people in my life for Christmas 2023 is make up homemade crafty advent calendars. And what I wanted them for is I was going to make, I was going to put the dry ingredients for salt dough and add a cookie cutter, but I don't want to make a massive, like, I don't want to be giving people a massive amount of salt dough to make like a full, like, they should be able to get 2 or 3 out of the amount, 2 or 3 mini ornaments out of the amount of salt dough that I give them, maybe 4, 5. And those are just going to be way too big, so they need to go back. But that's part of the idea for one of the 24 days in the Advent calendar. So glad I didn't wait till the last minute, huh? Okay, so let's go on to our work in progress, or works in progress, because they're kind of, this set is kind of the same theme, and then I have another one. So I'll pull out one of each of these 4. I arranged them any better, I could pull out a different one very easily. Is it 4? Can I count? Yes. And then this should be a different one. Okay, got them all. Can you tell what I'm going for? All right, so I'm into my Cricut right now. I have an Explorer 2. I've had it, I want to say, at least 2015, possibly earlier. No earlier than 2014 though, so let's just say 2015. And I've barely used it, making select Christmas gifts, so clearly like it's my Christmas Cricut machine. And for not much else, and barely anything at that. Like maybe I did 5 projects in the entire time before when I started doing these. I made Valentine hearts. Go check out that video. So that's what got me started once I knew that I could cut felt on it. And I can. It's a bit more challenging than I initially thought, and it's very dependent on, I want to say, the thickness or the density of the felt for my particular machine. So let's start with the circle. And these are still in pieces too. Like I've separated them out so I can start building the little kits that I'm doing. But like each kit isn't done. Like it's not going to be just the shape. So we have, you can't see it, but there's 2 there. Each bag has 2, one for each side. So this is going to be I'm going to call it a bauble instead of a ball or bulb, but it's a Christmas ball. I need to cut a little topper for it, another little piece of felt that's the top of the glass balls that you put on a Christmas tree. That's what I'm trying to say. So I need to cut that also out of felt. And then I really like these. These are gingerbread men. Again, there's 2 on each side. The Cricut had some real challenges cutting this. Simple shapes, simple rounded shapes, it's totally fine with because it doesn't have to make angles and stuff, and it doesn't pull at the felt fabric itself. These, I don't know if you can tell on this side, like right here, it's not quite perfect. Like I had to go back in with the scissors very hard on this. And then we have stars. The stars I kind of gave up on, and this is actually a good example. So you see on this side, the edges of the stars, like the points of the stars, are pretty sharp. On this side, the edges are a whole lot more rounded. And that's because I gave up and the machine, the blade was not cutting, it was barely cutting the felt, but it cut out the, not wax paper, the freezer paper. It cut out the freezer paper just fine. And pro tip, can iron your freezer paper shapes onto your felt and then cut around it. So that's why this side is a whole lot more pointier than this side is, because these I ironed and then cut the shape with my scissors, my favorite scissors. These are Fiskars. They're Fiskars, and they're spring. So I love those. And then the last, so this is 4 days, that would be 5 days. So I have what, 19 more that you haven't seen yet. This is really thin and compact, dense felt, so it cut pretty good. I still needed to trim up some of them, but it cut fairly well. So, you know, what the hell am I doing with these, right? I have, oh, there's an extra one. I have all kinds of little things like these, I'm gonna call them red balls. 5mm mini pom-poms. Now, guarantee you, I did not buy this. I have inherited many people's stashes. Partially because I like it all, and then I keep it because I'm cheap and I need to figure out a way to use it. Like that's what this entire year, is about. Like, Crafty No Buy, I want to use what I have, not necessarily use it up. If I do, that's great. Like, I don't need these randomly just sitting in my stash. Especially not in their package. If I, you know, want to, outside of the advent calendar, if I want to kit up little things like this for myself, make myself kits with the miscellaneous shit that I have, that sounds like a great idea. More reason to not get rid of it. Anyway, so this entire bag is, let's see, about there. It's filled with them. And I have, the goal is 20 of each. Focus. The goal is to make 20 of each kit that I make. That was my original goal. I've kind of changed goals. It's turning out about 18 is what I'm making of each one, and that's totally fine because there's only like 14 or 15 people on my actual list that are getting these. So I like to have extras for, oh my gosh, my neighbor to the left of me, Michelle, she's fantastic. Maybe I would like to gift one to her and her child, you know? But then I get into, well, her husband and their roommate, like, do I not give them anything? I don't know. So that's that. I'm progressing well with that. I'm very happy with that. And then I can't remember if I told you, I know in something that I recorded, I'm just tidying up. In something that I recorded, I told you I'm trying to not refer to my nieces by the numbers that I was trying to do before, because it just gets too freaking confusing. And we'll be referring to them by nicknames, code names from there. In any event, my 17-year-old niece, Kenny, is pregnant. And she is due like any day now. And, you you know, one of the things I do for family members is like, I have to love you to make you a baby blanket, which is what I'm about to show you. Well, I don't make baby blankets for sale for a couple of reasons, but number one, you're never going to get your money out of them. Like even, and I'll show it to you. It is not done. I am at a skein change. And yes, it is skein, not skeen. You can see it now. Unsubscribe, unsubscribe, unsubscribe. Anyway, I'm at a skein change. Now, I'm fucking my own self up. I'm on a skein change right there. But I'm just making, like, she picked the color. Does that look blue to you? It's green. Soft green? Yeah. Karen Simply Soft, soft green. Which looks like it's backwards when I'm looking at it, so I'll see if it's flipped around. Anyway, Karen Simply Soft, soft green. I have a lot of it. She actually picked the color. It is from Stash. So great, free. I requested that she go on Pinterest and pick a design or whatever, and she didn't. So I'm having some motivational challenges at the moment, and it's really hard for me to get motivated to do anything, crafty or otherwise. So I do want to make the child and her, you know, the child, my niece, and her child, a blanket. That, like, that's the tradition. That's what I do. Her actual aunt, technically I'm her second cousin, or she's my cousin's child, but they're my nieces. Cousin married my best friend, if you're new. So yeah, it's been hard for me to get started on the project, and I've actually let it sit for a couple days. This is like 2 days worth of work, and I think I have one more skein that I'm going to put into it. Oh, that's what I was saying. So her aunt, who we'll call Feather, so Aunt Feather also just had a baby over the summer. Her baby shower was actually on her brother's birthday, Kenny's dad. And she's having a boy also. Kenny's having a boy. I do know the proposed name. I'm not going to share it. So anyway, I made a 8-point star blanket for that child with the same yarn. Like, I had a lot of this yarn. It's very pretty. It's not coming through on the camera. It's very pretty. Or I think it is. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna do another full skein and be done with it. Maybe I'll put a border. I'm sorry, I have the hiccups. Maybe I'll put a border of white on it just to make it look more finished. I don't know. Anyway, it is, let's see, that it's from the top of my arm to the bottom of my elbow at this point. I can't get far enough away. If you've been around here long enough, you know that that's going to be the thumbnail. Oh, maybe not. All right, let me fold this up. So yeah, this will be done by the time hopefully by the time that the child is born. Speaking of thumbnail, I probably won't use that one, actually, but let's try this one on for size. I wish everybody could have a chance at being a YouTuber and figure out how hard this stuff actually is. And speaking of which, I have a light right there and a light right there, and you're probably thinking, oh, Carrie, you should have a light in front of you. I don't want one in front of me. Hopefully you can see me. That would be challenging for me because I don't want to look at it. Plus, like, you see right there, that's the reflection from my TV, which is like 15 feet away from me. Living room is the biggest room in this house. So where's the fun stuff come in? I will actually insert a picture. I'm sorry, those were my whips. I guess however you want to look at it. I might have two. I might have 5. 4 of the felt and 1 of the blanket. Excuse me. Vanilla Coke. I have a tickle in my throat. Okay. We are moving on to finished objects, and I'm going to get a little cheeky here. Because I crack myself up. This is the second time I've made myself laugh. If not more. So I finished. I know, I'm missing a pair. I finished up a whip. Oh no, I'm not. They're in there. I just can't count. We've already established that. Now I have cat hair on my nose. Okay. If you have been around, Scrundies was one of my, was giving it away, was one of my UFOs. It is no longer a UFO because I finished them all, kind of. They're all put together. I have not woven my ends. That's what I would call it with the blanket. This is with the underwear itself. So Scrundies are undies. And I don't think I opened the actual package for you in my UFO video. I did not make a video specifically on this one. Because I don't know if I actually can. I mean, physically I can, I don't know. Stitch Upon a Time, I believe. S-U-A-T, SUAT. It's how it's sometimes written. Like, I don't know if they'll get pissed off at me if I make a video on how to make them. But anyway, I'm not going to model them for you, but I am. Insert clip here. Okay, that wasn't a clip, it was a still photo, and it was on my teddy bear. I got that teddy bear for either my 15th or 16th birthday. My mom had it custom made for me. Okay, so I'll show you the pair that were on the bear first. And If you think this is weird to see my underwear or you don't want to see it, click off now. I'm not picking my nose. I am, can you see this? Freaking cat hair. Anyway, I will show you first what I mean by they're done, but they're not done. So they're made with a serger, and I have not threaded these and woven them through. You know, some people tie them. I like to thread and weave them. There's cat hair all over them. So these, God, makes it look like there's no crotch to them. There is. Technically, these are the boy short version. There's also a bikini version, but, and I'm not going to show you how they look. I like my butt completely covered. If it's not in a thong, which I'm not too old to do anymore. Rather go without. If it's not in a thong, then I want my ass completely covered, including the top of it. Like, I'm constantly pulling my pants up over my butt, and I don't have that big of a butt. Anyway, so that's the back. They are full coverage, and like I said, technically these are a boy short, but they fit like a brief, like a old lady granny panty brief without being, you know, super huge or anything like that. But I think they look cute. And this is, you guys hear me talk about Auntie Em all the time. This is all from her scraps. My friend Emily. From the front, which the base, more cat hair. The bases have been done for years. And I just needed to do the bands, the top band, and then the leg band. I just needed to cut them and put them on. So that is what I did. And let's count them, because now that I realize I do have them all in here. I really thought I had more. Okay, so that's one pair. Is that leopard print? Emily's a big old geek, so if you notice a theme, I'll point out some of them I had to really patch stuff together to get it to work. So we have some Harry Potter. I literally cannot see in front of me. And I chose a blue, kind of liney speckled stuff. I used this for a lot of it. This part was actually yardage because I wanted, I mean, it was still her yardage. I would consider it yardage, not really a scrap, you know. The base is like truly scrap. She made projects out of it, and it's what was left over. And like I said, some of it I had to piece together. This didn't have to be pieced. It's just the front and the back. But yeah, this I think might be a double brush poly, if you know sewing at all. And it, oh God, it's so soft. I love it. Really great if you don't like your elastic digging into your legs, or belly for that matter. This is very soft. I really like it. Okay, so we have one Harry Potter, so that's number 2. When I said I'll get cheeky, I mean it. So you have to, I have to point out the fantastic placement of this next pair, the pattern placement, because that is right. No, seriously, that should be the thumbnail. I put the Marauder's map smack tab on my hoo-ha. And in the back. Okay, so this one was a struggle, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. The band is thinner. So this top band is supposed to be 4 inches folded in half, sewn together. The leg bands are supposed to be 3 inches folded in half, sewn together. So you can see how big this is compared to how big this is. But the hiccups are back. It's the perfect freaking color. You know, this truly is scraps. I think it's the same material as this, like the same brand and line. It's just a different color, and I didn't have yardage of it. This is truly scraps, and that is why it's thin, and I had to piece the shit together in 4 places. So I did, there's a seam there and a seam there, and I tried to center it. That's the front, so right where my nails are. And then kind of didn't quite get it centered in the back, but there's right there. And here's where I got really creative. So this is a leg hole, and I pieced, there you go. I pieced it together diagonally. You see? Because I really wanted this color. Like it's perfect. See that? Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Let's do. Let me see if there's any more Harry Potter in here. Okay, no more Harry Potter. So we'll move on to the next fandom, and I will show you my Doctor Who panties. Let's start with the back. Oh, itchy nose. So I used the same black as I did on the cheetah or leopard or whatever it was, and that's like super stretchy. And then there was already, like in the scrap pile, there was already a Doctor Who band cut. So I used it with the rest of the Doctor Who fabric. It is 2 different Doctor Who fabrics, but I thought that was kind of perfect. And then didn't want to use the blue for the bands, so I just went with black. And let's do another Doctor Who. So we have another pair. These are TARDIS. And when I talk about piecing, the butt is in 2 pieces because I really wanted to have, you know, you see it? Do we have another Doctor Who? Yep, one more Doctor Who. Oh, should probably cut that out, but I'm not going to. And then we have Daleks. Daleks? And this one is not pieced. That was the butt. And that's the front. And we have 3 more pairs in here, and they are not fandom. They're cute though. Again, piecing. So I did a black back same as on the animal print one. I guess technically this would be another animal print. Can you see it? They're unicorns. I don't think they're My Little Ponies. Tell me in the comments if they're My Little Ponies. I just think they're fantasy unicorns. And this one is also pieced down the front with the same black as a couple of these have had. These ones are pieced in the front. They're dandelions with the same blue. These next pair have the same blue bands also. Show you the back first. These are cute. And they are pieced in 3 places. Okay, so that's the back. They're just plain red. But I thought it went well with the red books on the front. And you can see right there, like they're almost cut like a guy's tidy whities, briefs, actual boys briefs. But there's no flap or anything like that. It's just pieced because I needed to make fabric big enough to fit the pattern. Okay, so we've determined that I cannot count. I think I said there were probably 11 of them when I did the video. So, or my UFO video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was close. Okay, so there we have it. That's what I've been up to. Not sure when I'll podcast again. It probably won't be the only time that you're going to see the advent calendar stuff. But I'm having fun putting it together. Like, I'm making instructions and booklets. Like, they're going to be actual real kits. Who knows, maybe I will sell them at some point. Yeah. I am being told by the phone that my file size is being too big. So I'm going to end it here and say thank you. Tell me what you're working on in the comments below. Tell me if you like my panties. Have you ever made scrundies? Which style do you prefer? And until next time, peace out, homies.